This is cool. Walking through a pine forest on a mountainside. This is like what I always wanted the AT to be like. This is gnarly. I feel like a ladder of a climb from that campsite. Man, that's cool. It's kind of hard to see the mountains in the background. Just past a little bit of snow. There it is. That snowy patch up top. Right up. Boop. That is San Jacinto. And I believe, if the mileage is right, we were climbing that monster today. Beautiful sunrise earlier. I didn't even take video, but I got a picture from Cam. It was pretty awesome. Wind was blasting us. I cowboy camped on this little space between two bushes. I thought I'd be miserable, but luckily, since I brought the hammock setup out here, which I may send home actually, I set up the overquilt so it was on top of my top quilt and kind of shielded me from the wind. And I was so warm, man, I climbed into my sleeping quilt bag, whatever, setup at 6:30, 6:45. Could hear people talking for a while. Then I like rolled around and opened my eyes, and it was pitch black with stars overhead. You could see into Palm Springs, I think, some town in the canyon, which I didn't think I'd care about. But the lights, the city lights at night did look really cool. And then the sunrise this morning, man, gnarly. Okay, actually on my first day, met a triple crowner named Starfish, who was doing the PCT again because it was her favorite of the three. And we hiked some miles the first 2 days, I think. But I saw her on Idyllwild yesterday. Was it yesterday? 2 days ago? Jeez. It feels like a lifetime ago since the first day. Us and a bunch of other hikers were trying to see Avengers in town. And she had walked the stretch we just did yesterday, and she told me it was by far, if not, I can't remember if she said it was the worst or just her least favorite, but like the crappiest stretch of trail on the PCT that she's ever done. We're like, that sounds kind of doom and gloom. And some of the climbs were rough in the beginning, but those last like 5-6 miles, man, it was like worse than some bad days on the AT. No way that's a horse trail. We were just done. Then I had 2 dinners at camp, set up my space, and I was in there by 6:30. Speaking of, I think it's 6:30 now. Looks like we got more on the other side. Let's see, here we go. Oh, hey, more. Oh, I see packs. Maybe that means there's a water source. I can stop drinking the stink water. Tastes and smells like sulfur. Put in some Mio. Now it smells like, or tastes like strawberries and shit. That's just a campsite, that's not water. Maybe I'm at enough altitude to make me feel super ready. I didn't think 7,000 was enough. It's kind of an early trail. It's like a Forbidden Valley down there. I was just informed that 7,000+ feet is absolutely high enough for altitude to start kicking in, especially on like your first or second day. So, you know, I was looking at some of the thumbnails from the first videos and saw how fat my cheeks were, and I was like, it's probably just that I'm fat. It's weird though, yesterday, that was the toughest day I've had, or easily by far the toughest out here, but it had me thinking about some grueling days back on the AT as well. Like not just physically, but like mentally. It's just, I don't know, it just sucked. I think down, shoot, I just lost it. think down there about is where we camped last night. So we kind of came up and we've been sort of cutting across, some zigzagging, and what do we call those switchbacks? And that's coming up there. That's that little pass I was just at. And we came out of there and hit some more switchbacks below me. Now we're cutting up there. I just discovered that it's actually a blue blaze to the top of San Jacinto, and I had no idea. I thought the trail just was like, we summit Jacinto. So now, it's like a pretty significant blue blaze too. It's like 4 miles each way. I'm like, damn, San Jacinto doesn't even mean anything to me. Like Whitney does, anything in Yosemite does, but this random mountain out here, shoot, I'd rather skip it and push on. Get more miles in. Go faster. But I guess it'll be cool if we're all up there. This is gnarly though. Giant pine forest. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one. Pretty much everyone else is bush. They're just a little faster than me. I caught up to them at a water source a while back. That's great. Me and Max, we're working on a trail name for him. He's deaf, I think I mentioned earlier. So our whole communication has been just like gestures of exhaustion. I think we're going this way. And I think up there is the peak. But yeah, I'll pass him and be like, and he'll look at me and make like, a similar gesture and like wipe a pretend tear off his face. And then mostly we just like stare at each other and gasp for air. But whew, this is a flat stretch. It is. I can't stress enough how lovely it is to like walk through these pines. Around the snow, there's so much awesome, now that we're up here, water melt, snow melt. Almost makes you not want to filter. It looks so pristine. It smells like, anyone that knows me watching this knows I love my candles. I usually have like a pine for a candle going in my apartment or my bedroom. And it smells like that just all the time out here. It's just, even though the air's thin, so I'm already breathing real deep, I'll remind myself just to like, it's really good. Okay, I gotta put you away now. Oh, hey, look at this crew.
Red hair. They were like, I don't know, maybe.
The hammock set up for first night in a while. It's been like 4 or 5 days. Ready to recline in luxury. And I should get, looking out that way, not quite the sunset. It's going to be over there, but that's still pretty gnarly. There's Max. He's got a pretty awesome spot as well. A couple of dudes that way. Let's see, let's do the... This is honestly an amazing campsite. We stopped like 3 miles early just because this looks so good. Let's take the tour. Have a nice little look. We got Justin and Ryan. Ryan's so far away we're gonna have to send him postcards. But let's check. This is just like the best apartment I've ever seen.
You just still haven't seen mine yet.
It's got the mezz.
It's a love seat kind of thing.
Pretty solid. You got a nice deck.
Yeah.
Good for sunsets.
Yeah.
So I'm finally in my hammock for the first night in like 4 days, 5 days. I don't know. But it's a beautiful spot. We canceled our Jacinto summit. Slushy conditions, only half of us bikes. Late in the day, blah, 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 blah. We were going to go around to where the Blue Blaze Trail connects to it again. And whoever wanted to go was going to leave early in the morning and do it out and back. And that might not happen either. We found this amazing spot and we've kind of just been hanging out here since like 2 in the afternoon. And I'm pretty happy about it. This is my view from the hammock tonight. We just watched the sunset over there, and it was gorgeous. Everyone's spread hither and yon. Yeah, I'm just gonna wake up tomorrow morning with the view heading out that way. It's not gonna be a sunrise, but it's still gonna be pretty awesome. We did get a look at the forecast, which doesn't look very promising. Tonight the lows are supposed to be like 22 or something, and then the highs tomorrow is like 35 or something, and for the next like 3 or 4 days it's looking like it's going to be the 30s or low 40s, which is going to suck. But I think we're 2 days from walking to Cabazon for a resupply, maybe a hotel room, and then from there it's just a 60-mile push to Big Bear, where we're meeting our friend Happy Hour, hopefully, and he is staying in a house with his family. I believe they are leaving the morning of the 9th, so if we get there for on the 9th, then we kind of have the house for the day, and he said he was going to make us a big dinner and everything, which is super appreciated. The hiker hunger hasn't really kicked in yet, but we've been hungrier in general this time around. Like the last 2 nights, I've doubled up on dinners, which was fantastic. It's not like a hunger thing. Well, I mean, obviously it's a hunger thing, but it's not like that ravenous feeling that was towards the middle and end of the AT, where like you could never get enough. It was just like, I don't know how to describe it. We've just been eating more from the beginning this time around. I'm gonna stop talking. Good night. Now that is just a beautiful snow melt. I'm passing these all morning. And the snow. Beautiful forest though. Cold. It's like 45 degrees, maybe colder. Gnarly. Justin, the guy who just walked away, was saying, man, I wonder if everyone waking up down there is like, today's a crappy day. Whereas up here, we're like, yeah, although it is cold. Piece of cake. Yeah, you're on camera. Dun, dun, dun. And okay, that looked really easy.
That's the old dog.
It's got to be that low center of balance. Gravity, whatever the word is.
She just made that look like it was nothing.
Yeah, she did. So this is the trail. Oh man, this is going to be gnarly. Apparently we're going down 9,000, 8,000 feet of this. I don't hit spikes. Goodbye knees and quads. Whoa. Poor Ryan. He's gonna have a long one.
Poor Katie.
So, someone just slid all the way down to there on his butt. It was me. Not really sure where the trail is lots of times. Before we started this, Justin was like, hey, welcome to Fuller Ridge. And I'm like, no one said anything about microspikes anywhere before Kennedy Meadows on the internet. And now I'm like, okay, I guess the first rule of Fuller Ridge is we don't talk about Fuller Ridge. Ha! Okay, from down there actually over 2 or 3 of those peaks, all the peaks a while ago, but through some valleys today. You can see the trail sneaking its way. We just met that gentleman, but it goes way down there and zigzags its way up. It's been a pretty long day. I think we're at like 14 or 15 miles now, but check that out. It's been a huge storm on the other end of those mountains. And so far it's been cool because you can see it's perfect out. But for the last like hour or so, we've been able to watch these clouds just like, I guess they're slamming into that mountain, and they've just finally kind of crested, and you can see the clouds just like falling down. It's been so cool. Every time we take a switchback, we'd either see Jacinto, or since coming through that valley down there from up that way, Jacinto's gone now, but I'm just getting all that, which is just gnarly. Let's come around the corner. corner here, see what we got. Jesus. Oh, and there's Jacinto. All right. What a gnarly. Dude, this trail's ridiculous. It's kind of hard to believe that that is where we were like 2 days ago. The weather's looking not so great. Actually, the next 3 or 4 days are calling for rain and maybe 40, low 40s, high 30s. It's kind of a shock out here. We were pulling the AT card and joking about how that was no big deal. And all these people out here are being like wusses, wanting to stay in town. And then, you know, after the jokes are over, do you guys want to stay in town? But for now, we're trying to push while we can. We have this amazing weather. Today's been perfect. It's like, what time is it? 1? And we're hiking under the sun and it's not terrible and there's a cool breeze. We had a really short siesta by our first little river crossing. Today's been great, man. We're probably gonna have like 20 done by like 4 or 5. I just can't get over this. So we got, let's see, mountains over there, snow-capped mountain over there, crazy clouds coming over the mountains over there, Jacinto over there, down in the valley, desert flat in Palm Springs down there, and you know, more desert, but whatever, the rest is really cool. I was joking about that with Maynard earlier. Asked him how he felt about like the whole hike and everything. We were talking about how sometimes, you know, you're serpentining through all these little crevices and canyons and you can't even see where you're going. And the desert sun's hitting down and you're just kind of like, ugh. But then every like other day, you see some like epic thing and you're just like, oh, shenanigans. It's kind of crazy. Yeah. Easy, but kind of dangerous if you fall.
Yeah. Actually, I think we could just stay on this side, yeah.
Hey! Look at this thing. Don't you just love the desert? In between brutally hot days, you get nice 9,000 foot ascents. I think I'm approaching 9 now. And it looks like we have a small fire brewing over there, which is pretty bad news. But I did just see some flashing lights, so hopefully they're on it. Man. Today's been a kind of a terrible day, actually. We were all hurting this morning just from yesterday, and it didn't feel like we were climbing that much, but like the terrain felt like it should have been easier, but we were all just dragging. I thought it was just me at first until I caught up to everyone at lunch, and then we all had kind of dinner for lunch for more calories, and that's kind of kicked in now. Plus an energy bar, plus the terrain's a little easier. And I've kind of been crushing it now, but pretty sure I'm approaching 9,000 right now. Trying to get as far as or as close as we can to the trailhead to Big Bear, or the road, tonight. So tomorrow we can wake up early and hitch there. Huh. We're still supposed to get terrible weather, but so far it's been pretty amazing. So we're also pushing hard because the rain and like 40-degree weather is supposed to hit tomorrow and the day after, and we'd love to be in a nice house for that.